the last video I said I might redo the brick paperwork as I wasn't really that happy with the finish I got underneath the bridge. So I scanned in the Metcalfe paper, changed the colour slightly to a darker grey, and then printed off a couple of sheets and recovered the bridge, which I think gives it a better appearance. So here we have some sandpaper which was bonded to the double-sided tape, and then the backing of the double-sided tape was then removed, and that was then stuck down on top of the model. Now I may repaint this, but it gives a nice textured finish. 120 grit is quite a coarse texture, but it does give a nice appearance. So having removed the double-sided tape from the back of the sandpaper, it was carefully lined up and placed on the model. The next process was to lay the paving stones down. I printed off some paving slabs that are made up from some images I found on the web, and here I applied a double-sided tape to some A3 card, and then with the backing removed, the paving slabs were then stuck down in place. These were just images of paving slab papers that I'd taken off the web, rescaled down to suit a normal 3 foot by 2 foot paving slab size, and then printed them off onto plain paper. By sticking them to the A3 card, you get a certain level of thickness that resembles the height of a paveway. So once the A3 card was cut out with the paving slabs attached, a strip of the double-sided tape was cut off. You can see how tacky this thing is, it just really stuck to my fingers. And then the card and the paving slabs was glued or sat down onto that tape. I almost made a mistake here of not lining up the edge, which made life a lot easier. So finally the backing paper was removed from the pathway. And then the pathway was then stuck in place on the bridge. zoom in here just for a closer look for you. Again, in terms of scale, normally a large road is around about 7 metres. This more or less sort of scales up right. It's a probably half a metre under, but it looks right. You know, that's the whole thing. When you're doing scratch building, you just build it how you want to. So now we're on to some detailing. Having got some of the Metcalfe papers out of the pack, the bottom of the paper has a coarse level of bricks, and these were then cut out. So once I'd had the strips, it was a case of applying a bit of PVA glue and then applying them to the bridge. This just gives a little bit of relief and stops the model from being a complete sort of 2D appearance. It just gives it a little bit of detail. And the paper, as you can see, is a slightly different colour to the brickwork that I printed off before. So it just makes that a little bit of contrast and makes the detail stand out a bit more. Now I think as a feature, I thought it'd be good to actually put a row of these blocks or bricks or lintels or whatever you want to call it to give the representation as if it's a roadbed across the top, and it segregates the retaining wall at the top from the brick structure at the bottom. Now how prototypical it is, who cares? It's my layout, it's my model, and it's scratch built, so that's all that matters. Is just, you know, so long as you as a model like what you're doing and it looks good and it appeals to you, then just do it. I continue to add the bricks to the bridge towards the bottom of the bridge. I didn't do underneath the bridge parapets. So with that in place, the final bit was to glue in the Pico girder bridge section. Here a little dab of CA glue on either side was all that was required. And the girder section then glued in place. Trying not to get glue on your fingers, of course. This was repeated on the other side of the bridge. This time, managing not to get glue on my fingers. have the final bridge. Now I still need to do some landscaping, but that will come at a later stage. But I'm quite happy with the result. Thank you for watching.